Welcome to today's webinar, the JLR Property Fiche. Please forward your questions after the webinar at support@JLR.ca. But before we start, let's have a quick peek at the company's profile. JLR has been collecting, compiling, and distributing the various real estate transactions published at the Land Registry Office since 1986. And since then, we've collected over 5 million transactions, and these are updated daily. We've also taken 1.4 million property pictures and frontage only, and we have over 2.1 million property assessments in our database. So JLR becomes your one-stop shop because you can estimate property value, and this covers the entire province. You can also prospect, and you can analyze a specific property, and this will be the focus of this webinar because we will show you how to search using a property address as opposed to legal description. We will also show you the various hyperlinks in the fiche. And finally, we'll show you how to access le Registre Foncier du Québec directly from the property fiche. So let's get going directly in the website. So to find a property fiche, there's two search engines in JLR. There's the quick search, top right, and there's the property search. Now, if there's any fees related to that, the system will tell you, and you can confirm and say, yes, go ahead, yes or no. Depending on your package, this will determine the cost. So let's start with the property search. So this is your first search engine at the top. Property search. Simply click on it, and you have your address tab here. So it's very simple. In today's scenario, I'd like to find as much as possible on a property located in Beaconsfield, the address being 135 Lakeview, Beaconsfield. So basically, you use your drop down, and you would type in the first few characters of the street name. The drop downs are indexed, so it's very quick to identify your city. Same thing for the street. Lakeview, L-A-K-E, and then this brings me to Lake. Let's just go a little bit lower, and I have Lakeview Boulevard right here. Now I simply put 135. If I'm not sure, I can put equal, greater than, smaller than, and then I'll have a list. But in this case, I have equal, and it's as simple as that. If it's a condo, then I can put the suite number right here. And then I would click on search, and as soon as I click on search, if there's fees related, JLR will let me know. In this case, since I'm the trainer, price per consultation is $0. Good for me. So all I have to do is click on the hyperlink and go forward and get my fee. Now, I just want to show you that we also have drop downs here for United States and Canada. Okay, so it's good to know if you want to search United States, and then I'll have all the states in this drop down when I do that. So we cover 95% of the United States. So this is how you would do it. We have many questions on how to search there. So it's really your property search. You put your street number and the street name, city or zip code, and you launch your search. And the applicable fees will pop up, and then you need to confirm if yes or no you want to go ahead. The same thing with Canada. Again, it'll show you the various provinces that are covered. Here you see Quebec and Ontario. So this is how you do it with the property search. Now you can use the various tabs here, street number and postal code. You can use renovated lot, non-renovated lot. Those are the old lot numbers from the old systems, okay, and transaction number. But I would say that the most popular one would be address, where you have your complete address. Now that's one way to search. The other one is your quick search top right, and I would say this is really the most popular. Simply put in your 135 and your street name. What's great is that I can only put Lake V, and it's as if I'd be putting an asterisk at the end. It's a wild card. So JLR will find every property that starts with 135 Lake V, regardless of the city, because I am not putting a city right here. And this is why it's called quick search, because sometimes we spend too much time trying to figure out how to spell the city, and sometimes with the merges, we're not putting the right city and we're not getting a result. And very often it's because we're not putting in the right information. Now, this is the best way to do it, because if 135 Lakeview exists in Beaconsfield, and let's say, for example, in Montreal North, I would have two hyperlinks here. And then I would say, okay, so they exist in two cities, and then I would click on Beaconsfield. So it's a lot quicker this way. Now, I would have my price per consultation, and depending on your package, you'll have your fee here. And when you click on the hyperlink, it'll say, are you confirming yes or no? And if you click on yes, then JLR will show you the full property fiche. But before we go ahead, it tells us what we're going to get. We know ahead of time that we're going to get 7 transactions on that property, and that's before paying. We're telling you also that we're pretty up to date with the assessment. It's the 2014-16 assessments. We tell you ahead of time that there's a picture for that property because the rectangle is green. There's no picture, it's shaded gray. And also we tell you that there's an AVA report for that property should you want to order one. And the AVA report we'll describe that in another webinar. It's the estimate webinar, because it's basically a automated valuation model where you get a value for that property compiled automatically. So I know this ahead of time. So when I click on this, that's when JLR will tell me it's going to cost me that much. Now, I'm currently in the property fiche, and I'm just going to show you quickly up and down. I mean, there's a lot of information. Now, I do have a picture, and I knew ahead of time because the previous page told me. Now, there's hyperlinks at the top, okay, and I'll come back to those hyperlinks. I just want to show you the information that's just below the picture. We have the lot number. So we started off without a lot number. We had an address. So what's good is that with my address, I can easily get the lot number here. So it's Cadastre Québec, and it's the renovated lot right here. I know it's a single dwelling, 1 unit, and this is information that we've gotten from the assessment roll or the city. The zoning, it's not farm zoning or agriculture. It's no. Detached, 1 floor, waterfront, no. Year of construction, 1929. And here we have fire station. This is new. You click on it, and it shows you the nearest fire station to the house and the actual distance. So it's 1.7 kilometers. So for a client, for yourself, whatever, or for insurance purposes, it's a neat hyperlink. We have a walk score here. And the walk score is also available on your MLS or most MLSs, but we decided to put it here as well. It's a score 1 to 100, proximity of services. So when you're in a dense area or downtown, your score will be closer to 100. And when you're more in a rural area, mind you, Beaconsfield is not rural, but it seems that there's not that many services around, then you're going to get a lower score. And should you want to know the content of the services, you click on the hyperlink. It's as simple as that. Now, the important information here is who are the owners. So in the property fiche, you get the list of owners. If there's 2, you get the 2 names. If there's 4, you're going to get 4 names. You get all the names. For instance, we have Madalena and Eugene, their respective addresses. So we have it here. Now we have the 411 hyperlink, should we want to try and find a phone number. And we have this very important hyperlink as well. Registre des entreprises du Québec, REQ. Now, should these owners be a company, when I consult the JLR property fiche, well, it's very easy for me to go and look up the company registry. So I just copy paste the names, for example, and then I open the registry here. So it's a very, very handy hyperlink. When you see that there's a company instead of a personal name, okay, you open up the REQ, you paste, and this is not the best example because it's not a company, but I'm sure you know what I'm doing. And then you click here on search, and then you would get the full details of that company. Now below this, the owner information is your deeds that have been collected since 1986. So I have all this here. Okay, I knew I was going to get 7. It said so ahead of time. And the oldest one is 1997, and the most recent one is 2014, January, and it's a 60-day notice. Well, well. Okay, so there's a 60-day notice of 232 on that property. What's great? Right on the right here, you have the deeds. Now, if there's a $sign, it means that we don't have the deed on our server, but we can certainly go and get it for you at the land registry office simply by clicking on the $sign. And this will cost you $1. When you have this little square with lines inside, it means that the deed is available on our server and there is no fee because you're already paid to be in this fiche. That's it. So if we have the deed, we will open up for you without charge, and it's a PDF deed, so we convert all deeds on our system. And then it's great because we can look at the nature of this 60-day notice. So we see that it's given to our owners here, Madalena and Eugene. And it's from the Bank of Nova Scotia. And then you can see everything here, all the details. And this is the amount that they owe. And if you want to see the balance and whatnot, it's all there. So this is great. So you have the deeds available here, and I also have the deed of sale right here. So they bought in April 2013, and they already have a 60-day notice. Okay. Now there's something I want to bring to your attention. You will notice here that there's index of des immeubles or index of a movable that was ordered in March 2013. When one of our members orders an index aux immeubles through JLR, we have the date here because we actually update the information in this box here. Now, seeing that there's a 60-day notice that's very recent, I'd like to know if it's discharged. And the way to know this is to get the index aux immeubles, and in the index on the right column there's a radiation column, and if there's an entry there, I'll know that this is discharged. So I know that I have to go and get that. Now here are my municipal assessments. Keep in mind that if it's not the most up-to-date, this is a hyperlink and you can click on it. So I can just put my address here and quickly get the municipal assessment. And it's great. If you're in Laval, for example, you have a Laval fiche, you click on the hyperlink and it'll bring you to the Laval assessment roll. So we've done that for the 1,200 cities inside the province. So this is an automatic redirection to the city's assessment roll regardless of which property you're looking at. So this is great. Below that, you have the socio-demographic profile of the immediate area. So this is Statistics Canada. Interesting information if you want to share this with clients or whatever. And if you want to know if it's pertinent in the sense as it's a very large area or small area, well, quickly display map, you'll see that it's a very small area. So whatever information or statistics you have, you'll see that it's just for this very small area. So it's very pertinent information. Now, you have hyperlinks here at the bottom. Now, the one I'd like to share with you is this one, Order the Legal History. These two are related to evaluation or estimation. So, as mentioned before, this will be looked at during the estimation webinar. Okay, but basically these are comparables generators. But to get the index des immeubles for this particular property here, I just want to show you how easy it is. You click on the button here, Order the Legal History, and by default and automatically the requested field to launch the search or the request are there automatically. So you don't have to fill this in. And all you have to do is click on Next. Now you're accessing the land registry office, le registre foncier, it'll cost you $1. Okay, and it's $1 that you have in your account that will be debited here. Now if you don't have any money in your account, you can add JLR dollars, and it, just by using your credit card, and it's by $50 increments. So I want the index des immeubles. I just clicked on one button, Order the Legal History, click on Next, and that's it. Now I have a choice of back to the property page because I'm not done, or close. So I'm going to go back to the property page, and my request is gone to their land registry office. Now you just have to remember that the Registre Foncier does close weekdays. I think it's pretty late, maybe around 11. So if you order after, you'll get it the following day at 7. Otherwise, you'll get it within minutes. So while we're waiting to get the index des immeubles, let's go at the top and see what other hyperlinks we have that are interesting. You have an import hyperlink, and this is kind of a cloud. So the import will go and get files or documents on your hard drive, and JLR will link these documents to this property, and it'll be in our cloud or on our server. And you click on select file, so this will browse your hard drive. And let's say I have a offer to purchase, a certificat de localisation, or any document that is linked to this property. Then I will link it by using the import button. And then whenever I need to consult that document, I don't need to have my laptop because now it's linked through JLR. All I need is an internet connection, and then I can access the document. So it's just like the principle of cloud that most people know. It's always interesting because all that's requested or required is an internet connection. You go on JLR, you link in your account, you request that property, and all the documents that you've linked through the import button will show, and they will, once you import, they appear here. So see how quick this is? This is my index des immeubles, okay, that I ordered about 30 seconds ago. So my documents associated with this property, I had nothing, and now I have this. And it's the lot number.pdf because we have to give it a name. So it's not a random name, it's the lot number. So let's open it and see what we have. It's a PDF file. Again, we convert it because it's not PDF when we order it. So this is your index aux immeubles as you know it. Okay. One of the advantages is that we put the address. Okay. If you've ordered an index aux immeubles before, you'll know that there's no address. And if you forget to just jot it down and you find this document a week later, chances are you'll just have the the lot number, and you'll have to track it down and see it belongs to what address. So on the right, you have the radiations column or discharge, and you see this 60-day notice is still outstanding. It wasn't radiated or discharged. Okay, so it's very important to verify. And then, of course, you have this older mortgage. Yes, it was discharged. And this one too here because you have entries in the last on the right column. Okay, this mortgage here goes back to April 2013 when they actually bought the property. And you see it's 275. They bought the property for 235. Okay, and so on. So this is very interesting, and it's just ordered from the land registry office, le registre foncier, 2 seconds ago. And this document can be printed, can be saved because it's PDF, and it will always appear at the bottom of your property fiche and is only available to me. I ordered it, and if any of you after this webinar go and consult this property, you won't see this document here. You won't have the information. Now, if I go back up and click on JLR Virtual, should I not have a picture of the property, because we have some pictures, we have over 1.4 million, and it is quite a lot, but in some rural areas we don't have pictures. However, we've done an automated link to Google Street View, and it's this one here. We've called it JLR Virtual. When you see the little globe here with the magnifying glass, that's what it is. So you simply click on the hyperlink, and that's it. And then you have the note hyperlink. If you'd like to just, link a note to this property. And what's great is that you have a reminder date. So if it's a note that requires an action, you can actually specify when the action needs to be done. For example, I speak with the owner, and I would like to list this property or put it up for sale beginning of May. So I could simply put owner wants to sell in May. and I want to make sure that I call the owner beginning of April. So, and this is just an example. I'm not a realtor, but it's just to show you that this little calendar here is quite handy, because I click on submit and I have my note here, and this note is very personal to me. No one will see this note. Only when I log in and request that property will I see that note. However, since I added a date, on that specific day, JLR will send me a reminder email regarding this property, and it'll say owner wants to sell in May, and then I'll say, oh, that's right, and then I can take action. So, it helps me to be on top of things. You don't have to put a reminder date. Sometimes it's just sometimes it's just notes that you took as every time you spoke with the owner, and it's just to centralize information just in this property fiche. And should you be consulting this fiche 5 years down the road, your notes are still going to be there unless you specifically delete them. So that's good. Now you can put an alert on this property. Now, putting an alert on a property means that if there's anything that's registered on that property from the land registry office, will send you an email. So that's great, because you can know anything that occurs in the future. You'll get an email by JLR. Now, report an error is very simple, and you have the print button here. You can view the property on the left easily. So 133, just by clicking on that one. And this is the property, okay? And then if I go back to 135 using this arrow here, then I could actually view 155. Okay, so these are buttons to easily see the neighbors. Now, if I go down a little bit, this is something I wanted to show you. My block of information for the deeds that we've collected since 1986. The system now actually shows the last date that one of the members went and got an index. Okay, so we see here 1703, that's actually me that just got the index aux immeubles. And you see, we didn't see this before, these lines on the hypothèque. Okay, so this means that these two entries are discharged or radiated. And the reason we're able to do that is because somebody ordered an index, and we go and analyze the index and we update this portion of information. So the more people order indexes, the more details we'll have regarding the radiations. And here's my note, notes added by user, that wasn't there before. So here it is. Owner wants to sell in May. Reminder date, I did put one, and I have April 1st, 2014. So it's there. So this is great. And again, these notes or documents are only visible to me, nobody else. And that's very important, especially if I put that owner wants to sell in May. I don't want anybody else to know this. Okay, and we keep the assessments as far back as we can, so you can see the history and see the variation. And you see here we have 50%, and that's City of Montreal for you. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the property fiche. So again, the way I retrieved this fiche was through quick search. Street number, street name, enter. If there's fees, I will know. Or you can search using the property search here. Now this one is a lot more popular, but it's only for Quebec. You're looking for Ontario property, you're looking for property in Florida, quick search won't work. You have to use the property search, top left, and you have your drop down here. You can specify US or Canada, and here you have your provinces. And the first tab here that opens is for properties. Sometimes it's handy to use this as opposed to this one, although I would say 95% of the time this is the one that's used. If you're looking for a specific condo in a big condo tower, there's big towers, as you know, in Nuns Island, for example, and there's no room here to specify a suite number for the condo. So, and then what you'll have is a result of 200 entries, and that's not what you want. it'll be too long to find your specific condo. So you would go in property search, you would put your address here, and here it is available. Okay, the field is available rather, and you can specify the condo number. Okay, and you can't do it here. But otherwise, use the quick search. It's quick, and then in the fiche you actually get your legal description, which is great, and it really speeds up time, and it's great information. So if you have any questions regarding this webinar, again, you can send an email to support@JLR.ca. There's a contact us button here. So it's our support, and it's opened weekdays 9 to 5. And should you want to contact your sales rep or the sales rep in your area, here's the information. So we have 4 sales rep for the 4 regions. We have Montreal, it's Joanie, and this is her information. Laval North Shore is Hugo. South Shore Eastern Townships is France, and Quebec City is Dominique. So enjoy the rest of your day and see you at the next webinar.